What's going on, y'all? I'm Ari and this is Ari in the kitchen. Now today we're gonna whip up some cinnamon rolls that are gonna be sure to have your house smelling super good. Everybody gonna think cinnamon popped up in the backyard. So let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is, right here I have a cup of milk and I heat it up in the microwave for about a minute. So it's warm, it's not super hot, but it's definitely warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in my pan here. To that, I'm gonna add a third cup of sugar. And then along with that, I've got two packets of yeast. Now, it doesn't matter. You can use the fast-acting yeast. You can use the regular yeast. I have one of each just because that's what I had on hand. So you're just going to use 2 packets of yeast, no matter whether they're going to be the fast-acting or the regular yeast as well. So I'm just going to put both those packets in there. With that, I'm going to just whisk it real quick. Just kind of mix it around. And then I'm gonna let this sit. This is just gonna sit for about 5 minutes. And then after the 5 minutes, I'll be right back with you. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes, and now the yeast, as you can see, well, hopefully you can see that it's starting to foam up on the top there. It's kind of making like a little cake on top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna now add in a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna add in, this is a half a stick of butter, so a 1/4 cup. And it was melted partially. You could just be softened as well. It doesn't have to be completely melted if you don't want it to be, or if you just had something sitting out for a while. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and add in 1 egg. And it's been sitting out for a little bit, so it's almost room temperature. Gonna mix it in together. All right, so now I've got it all hooked up to the mixer. And here I've got, this is 3½ cups of flour. So I'm gonna go ahead and start slowly adding the mixture in on, and I've got the dough attachment I'm using. I'm just gonna put it on low and just start mixing it in there. Keep adding more. And this is gonna be a little, it's gonna take a few minutes, so this isn't something that you're just gonna speed up and see it done. Now, if you don't have a mixture, you could do this with your hand. You could like mix in the 2 with just a regular whisk, 2 cups, and then that 3rd cup, because you might even get to 4 cups, but you can start slowly adding it in there with your hands and just kind of kneading it into the dough as opposed to actually using a dough attachment. So I'm just taking a spoon, just kind of knocking it off and not just kind of bunch up on the edges here. The dough is pulled away from the sides completely. It's just picking up the whole ball of dough. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I just want to kind of check the consistency of the dough. So it is still a soft dough here, which is what you want. It's a little bit sticky, so I think what I'm gonna do, and yes, my hands are clean, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit more flour in here, maybe about a 1/4 cup, and let that mix in. Yeah, this is a better consistency. Now this bowl, what I have here is and I added oil. So I'm just gonna take my ball of dough here, like I said, clean hands, and I'm just gonna put that in there. And then I'm gonna move it around just so that the oil gets on all sides of the dough. Cover it up here. And then this is gonna sit, like I said, for an 1.5 hours. You wanna make sure you put it in a warm place. And it should double inside. Here I have a cup of brown sugar. And to that cup of brown sugar, I'm just gonna take some ground cinnamon. And I'm gonna put about a little over 2 teaspoons. So I have a little bit of chopped pecans in here. So whatever's left in this bag, I'm just gonna add those in. Just gonna mix it all together. Our dough, it's proofed for an 1.5 hours now, so you can see it's definitely increased in size. Some flour on my surface next to it. With this, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna punch it down. And that's why you put the oil in there, because it comes right out. Put it on our surface here. And I'm have a rolling pin here. Just gonna kind of flour my rolling pin a little. So I'm gonna spread out, trying to make it into a rectangle.
I be in the kitchen whipping pans. Watch. Watch. I be in the kitchen whipping pans. Watch. Watch. We whipping. We whip. With Ari in the kitchen, yeah.
So now that I have that, I'm gonna go ahead and put some butter on there. And of course the butter's softened. It's about 2½ tablespoons. Here I'm just gonna kind of spread my butter out. So I've gone and washed off my hands. I've got my filling. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle this on here. Let me see, it might work better if I use my hand. And we're gonna start rolling it up. So I'm gonna start with this edge and kind of pull it. Just start rolling it. And of course, the more of a rectangular shape you have it, the easier this is as far as getting it uniform. Just gonna kind of try to pinch these together. I've got my cinnamon roll here. I don't know if y'all seen it before. People use the floss, so you can use serrated knife or the floss. I'm gonna try the floss today. Got this, and we're just gonna a little bit over an inch. Just gonna cut it. So that's my first one right there. All cut up. You see I ended up with some smaller ones here because of how I rolled it out. I didn't have it, like I said, in the perfect rectangle. You can see how the middle ones, they ended up larger. That's gonna be all right though. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead, cover it up with some plastic wrap. Let this rise again for about 30-45 minutes. It's set to 350. I'm gonna go ahead and toss these in for about 30-35 minutes. Make the icing for it. So I've got a half a stick of butter in here, and I've got a little bit over a half a stick of, or a half a block of cream cheese. We're just gonna cream that together. Both these are softened, by the way. They've been sitting out for a while now. So we're just gonna mix those up. Now that we have our cream cheese and our butter mixed together, add in the cup of the powdered sugar. Gonna start mixing that slowly together. To that, I'm gonna add some vanilla, about a teaspoon and a half. Squirt of some lemon juice in there as well. And that's your cinnamon rolls set for 30 minutes inside the oven. They've been out for about 5 minutes now. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go ahead and ice them. I'm gonna take that icing we made earlier, just kind of plop it on there. Here's our cinnamon rolls. I'm gonna go ahead and pull one out so y'all can take a look at it. All right, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't even wait for y'all. All right, took a little bite, bomb. But you know what it is. Make some so y'all can enjoy too. I'll see y'all next time.